Hey, Pugnose. Where's that high priest, anyway?
Unworthy lout. How dare you address our high priest that way?
What? You?
I'm pleased that you mastered the tests I gave you, Jack.
You're joking, right? You're the high priest?
Surely a difficult thing to picture for a potato face like you. It's like this. Things aren't always what they seem, as you yourself proved in a most impressive manner with the sacred tiger. However, let's get right to the point. After all, we don't have much time. Now, about those ordeals of yours. In terms of finding space, you have proven that you are capable of thinking outside the box. Our large machine has shown you are more a man of physical rather than mental prowess. Well then, you have already proven your courage and aptitude. Now prove your worth in the humanity test.
What's that?
As you know, an important wedding is supposed to take place in the village, but the situation has gotten all botched up. Unite the lovers, arrange the wedding. Then you have learned all there is to know. All set?
It's time to get going.
Wait, before you leave, let me ordinate you. You now officially belong to the Kshatriya caste.
That's great. But don't you have to be born into a caste?
Who says you weren't always the Kshatriya? But you just weren't aware of it. Now go. And here's your certificate to prove it too.
What happened now? You've been initiated? But
It cost me some sweat and a few hairy moments, but I certainly was.
how odd. But if that's the case, welcome to our community. Here it is, the upper village.
Hang on. That's Montgomery. And my unfaithful sailors. How did they get up here?
Well, you can't keep an eye on everything, you know. And in the case of Mr. Montgomery, well, he did pay a handsome fee for admission. My poor son is here too. His memory a blank. And you'll probably find his fiancée in the pagoda. Heavens, it does make a body sad that the young couple can't put an end to this and marry.
Don't sweat it. We'll take care of that.
Gopesh, I told you that I don't want to see you up here.
Forget about it. My daughter will be married to your son shortly. Then you'll have to put up with me here every single day.
It almost makes me glad my son has lost his memory.
I knew the whole time my daughter had it in her, but I'd have never thought she had her eye on taking over our operation. She's got big plans. She wants to expand our business, 24/7 ocean-wide. If we could just get that whim she fell for back into shape again.
But how can we give Vincent his memory back again?
I'm gonna show you how the family gets people to remember things. You stay here and keep an eye out.
But
The boy doesn't know a thing.
Junior, what are you doing up here?
I'm bringing that snotty little banker's brat back to his senses again.
You don't have the least bit of sense in that head of yours.
Wouldn't you like to have a life full of surprise?
Ah, it's the young man again. The wedding must take place.
Then help me get Vincent back the way he was.
I can't help. No.
But it's you who keeps going on about how the wedding must take place.
That's true. It must.
Come on, out with it.
Okay, I guess there's no way around it. I'll tell you the whole story. Remember the page I tore from the Village Chronicle?
The page about November 5th, 1871.
Exactly. I still recall that 5th of November in 1871 as if it were yesterday. It was a fresh and rainy day. A bit foggy, too.
You can leave out some of the details.
All right. That was the day I decided it was time to catch the eye of Tooth Island's handsome young mare. So I resorted to an ancient Indian love poem to do just that. It's called the Kelatara. Its power is so almighty that anyone unable to cope with love in joyful exuberance can lose their senses. Unfortunately, that man went right off the wall. I should have known from the start that politicians can't handle half as much as they claim. All of a sudden, he thought he was a god of love. It didn't take long before he landed in one of Bombay's loony bins. Since then, the village hasn't had a mayor, and the two halves have been at it like cats and dogs. I never got over my guilt. I burnt the Kelatara to ashes and swore to bring about a wedding one day that would reunite the two halves of the village.
Vincent and Shari's wedding.
Yes, that's why their wedding must take place.
But if the Kelatara is burnt to ashes, what good is it to us?
If I remember correctly, somebody made a copy of the poem back then. A self-styled interpretation, so to speak. If I could only recollect who it was.
Don't worry. This wedding's gonna be a success.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Thanks, I already have one.
Well cracked, indeed. Gimme that. Luckily, they haven't been used yet. Gimme that.